Chapter 27 of the Tao Te Ching. Tao, pronounced like Tao in the word now, asks what genuine skill actually looks like. Then it makes a stranger claim about teachers and students, and what it means to be lost while believing you understand. Shàn xing wu zhéjì, Shàn yan wu zhéjì, Shàn shu bu yan chu si, Shàn bai wu guān jiàn bu qi kai, Shàn jie wu shèng yu bu qi jai, ji shéngrén chong shan ju rain, gu wu kai rain, chong shan ju wu, gu wu kai wu, chi wai zai ming, bu shan rain ji, bu shan rain jai shi, bu shan rain ji, shan rain jai zai. Bugi kai shi bue kai sai sui jai da mai shi wai yao milo. Guild movement leaves no ruts or tracks. Guild speech carries no flaw, leaves no bling. Guild calculation needs no counting rods. Guild closing uses no bolt or bar, yet nothing can open it. Guild knotting uses no cord or rope, yet nothing can undo it. Therefore the sage is always skilled at helping people. No person is discarded, always skilled at making use of things. Nothing is wasted. This is called inheriting the light. So the skilled person is the teacher of the unskilled. The unskilled person is the material of the skilled. One who does not honor the teacher, one who does not value the material, however clever they may seem, they are deeply lost. This is called the essential mystery. The chapter opens with 5 images, each following the same structure. Skilled doing of X requires none of the usual apparatus for X, yet the result is more complete than if the apparatus had been applied. No wheel ruts from the cart. No flaw in speech to be seized upon and blamed, no counting rods for the calculation, no bolt on the locked door, and still it cannot be opened, no cord binding the knot, and still it cannot be undone. This is not saying that tools are bad, or that technique should be concealed. It is saying something more specific. When mastery aligns fully with the actual nature of what's being done, the external mechanism becomes unnecessary. The effort dissolves into the action itself. A door locked with a heavy bolt announces that it is locked. A door that simply cannot open through the arrangement of its elements, that is a different kind of security. The advertisement of force is already a kind of weakness. The principle extends to how the sage relates to people. The sage is always skilled at helping, and so no person is discarded. Always skilled at making use of things, so nothing is wasted. The word ju, roughly to help or to restore, carries a sense of bringing something to where it belongs, completing what is incomplete. The sage doesn't impose a correction from outside. The sage perceives what is already present and responds from that. The text calls this zai ming, inheriting the light, or following an illumination that was already there. The word zai means to carry on, to follow, to put something on as you would a garment. The sage steps into a clarity that predates them. They don't generate it, they allow it to come through. Then comes the chapter's hardest claim. The skilled person is the teacher of the unskilled. That is familiar enough, but then, the unskilled person is the zai, the material, the raw resource, of the skilled. Consider what this actually means. A carpenter does not develop skill in isolation. The difficult grain in the wood, the joint that keeps failing, the unexpected knot in a board, these are not obstacles to mastering carpentry. They are what mastery is made from. The resistance is the substance of the skill. Without it, there is nothing to develop against. The same holds with people. The student who doesn't respond the way you expect, the colleague who can't seem to grasp what seems obvious, the person who resists every approach. These are not separate from becoming skilled at working with people. They are the material of that development. They are why the skill deepens rather than remains abstract. And then a warning. One who does not honor their teacher, one who does not value their material, however intelligent they appear, they are in a state of great confusion. The chapter names this yao miao, the essential mystery, not a hidden doctrine, something that intelligence alone cannot reach, because intelligence tends to dismiss precisely what would teach it most. Most people recognize what the first part of this chapter describes. Someone who has truly mastered something has a quality of ease that looks almost like nothing is happening. The surgeon whose movements leave minimal scar tissue. The teacher whose corrections land without humiliation. The person who ends a difficult conversation and leaves everyone's dignity intact. No ruts, no residue. The second half is harder to stay with. It insists that whoever or whatever resists you, the difficult person, the situation that won't yield, is not an interruption of your development. It is your development. The text does not say this is easy to accept. It says that failing to accept it is what being lost looks like, and that the sharper your intelligence, the more artfully you can arrange arguments for dismissing it. What the chapter holds at its center is a double truth that resists being split apart. Genuine mastery leaves no trace, and it could not exist without what it works against. Chapter 28 follows.